Hey, it's Molly. Welcome back to my channel as we're going to talk about a fascinating, energetic, and very big Aquarius full moon happening on August 11th, 2022, 9:35 p.m. That's Eastern Time, so be sure and adjust for your location on the planet. There's a lot happening in this chart, so let's dive in by first identifying where you have 19 degrees of Aquarius in your chart, as this is the focal point of the Aquarius full moon, and you'll see that it is conjunct Saturn at 22 degrees Aquarius retrograde. And so right away, this brings in a seriousness to the energies, Saturn being about responsibility, commitment, maturity, going slow. Saturn also is very comfortable here in Aquarius, a sign that it rules. So we have more of a serious evolving energy here that brings in something around your emotional needs, your responsibility, where you're going, the future. And it can feel very personal with Saturn conjunct the moon. In fact, Saturn can bring in the heaviness, the reality check, what you need to look at and be aware of in the Aquarius areas of your chart. Now, keep in mind, Saturn has already been moving across this part of your chart. And in fact, Saturn's going to retrograde back to 18 degrees of Aquarius, where it will station direct in October. So there's something here that the universe is bringing your attention to about your future, where you're going, what you're planning, how you're making it happen, what you're putting in place. And Saturn being the structures, what is coming together, what you're lining up. And I feel like the universe is bringing our attention to how is this going for you? And does that vision truly involve all of who you are? Because Aquarius is about multiple pieces coming together. There's a complexity to Aquarius, although I tend to think of it as a mosaic of energies. And there's something about this Aquarius full moon that the universe is saying, check in on where you're directing your energy towards, because it needs to be something that uniquely calls to you and honors your individuality. So big focus here on these Aquarius energies. And because it's a full moon, we know that the other side of your chart is being lit up here by the sun in Leo. The sun is at home in Leo, where it shines the brightest, and bringing your attention to more of your individual energy field in terms of how you're here to be in your light, in your power, in your true sense of self. And when the sun moves through Leo, it's helping us develop more of the courage to be ourselves, to honor who you are, what you want, what you need. There is also a willpower in Leo. There's also a growing sense of self. So with this full moon, the focus is on how you're balancing your sense of self, the identity that you know in terms of who you are. But I feel this as a very alive energy, very similar to how the sun is very active right now. The sun being alive with more energy, more sunspots, more life force. And then how you're taking that into perhaps new parts of yourself. But Saturn tempers these energies and has restraint and wants to cut back. So there's this built-in push-pull here between maybe what you're emotionally seeking, needing, and realizing. I feel this actually as a realization in the third eye chakra, because the third eye can certainly tune into future potentials and timelines that are active in other energy realms. And then the sun in Leo being very much in the present moment. There's something here about taking the new directions very seriously without taking on too many burdens of others, which is Aquarius, the other people, the others involved, the tribe, the people you know or you're responsible for. I feel like there's some kind of push-pull here between what you want and where you feel your responsibilities lie. And after the full moon, this energy will continue to be in place because the sun moves forward and it will get to 20, 21, 22 degrees of Leo and continue to make more of an opposition to the Saturn in Aquarius as it moves retrograde. So there is a definite sense of responsibility around your new choices that you're making, what you're realizing about who you are, more of your fuller sense. And Aquarius is very multidimensional and it connects you with higher frequencies that maybe you're feeling that you're ready to integrate into who you are now. But there is something here about the push-pull of the energy that could feel like you wanted to go slower. I feel like there's this very interesting dynamic in place because we're looking at some very big energies that continue to play out over the next number of months. And this Aquarius full moon is bringing your attention to your individual self within the whole, within the group. And I feel too like there could be something here where you understand where you need to cut ties, where you need to be complete with something, whether that is something in your life, in your energy, in your world, in your daily responsibilities. I feel like there's something here that you see is ready to shift or change tracks, and that could be a push-pull decision. Now, at the same time as this energy dynamic with Saturn, we also have the very electrifying energy here of Uranus, still conjunct that north node at 17 degrees of Taurus. And these energies are squaring the sun, the moon, and Saturn. So it's almost as if we are revisiting something from 2021 when we had the 3 squares between Uranus in Taurus, Saturn in Aquarius. Throughout 2021, they met up 3 times in a square, and they're going to have another square in October. And yet something is coming to light with this full moon, and Aquarius being an air sign, communication, information, data coming to light, revelations, unexpected information or communications. What is coming up that we need to see, that we can't be in denial about, that we have to really understand it matters? There's a seriousness here to this. And Uranus is the energy of those surprises, breakthroughs, liberation, things we didn't see before that now the Aquarius full moon is illuminating. So we have a very big conversation here between all of these planets and all of these energies that can also bring up a discomfort, feeling very unsettled. There's instability here. There's a sense of, what do I believe? What is true? What is real? This could be a big energy signature of cognitive dissonance. This could be the energy of disbelief. This is something shaking up what we thought we knew. And these are energies as well that are breaking us out of previous understandings of self that we're outgrowing, and how we are continually changing our vibration. But I feel this as a very significant frequency change. I feel this as something that creates separation between who you were and where you're going next. This can be something that you welcome. This doesn't have to be scary or fearful. This could be something that you can claim you're ready for. You're ready for these new parts of your life, these new parts of yourself that Aquarius is connected to in other timelines. And it feels like there's something here that we're now taking it seriously. It's like, oh, right, this is really an important choice point, an important time to really tap into my own energy and to be aware of what is uniquely true for me and how to integrate it when things are not settled and they're not going to be very comfortable. And in fact, it could feel like there is this instability, and it's an electrifying energy. It has this faster pulsing frequency that certainly connects to our nervous systems, to our minds, to really our desire to know. And that would be a key word for Aquarius, a knowingness. What is your knowingness right now that maybe other parts of you are trying to catch up to? What do you know that other parts of your energy are trying to catch up to? Because the focus on Aquarius is about where you're going, what's next, the new vision, the future, the energies that are coming in that are different and perhaps avant-garde and unusual, and yet they're very much needed here as part of an ongoing evolutionary process. You have a knowingness that the rest of your energy is trying to either tap into or experience. And you could feel it as maybe even fighting parts of yourself. You know, the sense of, oh, this isn't true, or oh, I don't know if I can do that, and the back and forth. And that's part of this ongoing energy, which, by the way, yes, it is a T-square, but then when you take into account the South Node, which would be over here at 17 of Scorpio, it's this very dynamic grand cross in the fixed signs that is shaking the apple cart, and it's disruptive. It doesn't feel like maybe you have exact solid information or answers in one reality, but you do. There is something you know, and I feel like that's the gift of this Aquarius full moon, is that we're tapping into a deeper knowingness that Saturn is helping us to make real. But it certainly isn't easy, and it certainly isn't like a smooth ride. There's things here that have to be understood about what you really want, what matters to you, and to not hold back, because not only is Saturn the ruler of Aquarius, but so is Uranus. And so we're revisiting some things from 2021, and we're having new revelations and insights. We're also tapping into more of our new potentials and where they can go. And there's just a very deep energy change happening here within us individually and collectively that is, it could feel like it's shaking you to your core in some way. Now, this will be the most intense if you have planets or points between 17 and 22 degrees of the fixed signs. So between 17 and 22 degrees of the fixed signs being Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, because that's where the energy is the most intense and even tight. You could feel a tightness. But there's something you're meant to shake off and move, and to do so consciously so that the energy is directed in a way that's healthy for you, that's intentional for you, and allows you to move with these big changes. Now, when I look at this type of energy, I look for the trines, because the trines are the beneficial outlets, the ways that energy flows and moves. And we look to see, okay, well, what's supportive here? So if you have planets or points between 17 to 22 degrees of any element, then you could have a trine. So 17 to 22 degrees of the air signs, 17 to 22 of the earth signs, 17 to 22 of fire, 17 to 22 of water. Then you would have trines that would help alleviate the intensity and pressure of this Aquarius full moon. In this chart, we have this Chiron at 16 degrees at Aries retrograde that does make a sextile to the moon and a trine to the sun, which means that there could be something healing that comes from these changes. There's a new start here in the Aries energies for all of us, but these energies are now retrograde in Aries, so we are being given more time to further integrate, review, and realign with the new beginnings. And yet, there's something here where we're meant to find new ways that are empowering and showing us more of what we can do on our own. And that's the Aries maverick, the pioneer. There's something here that we're understanding around how we're different versions of ourselves now. And the Aquarius full moon supports that. Be different, be unique, be disruptive, be rebellious, start a revolution. And I mean, that's what we've been living through. There is a bigger revolution happening within humanity's energy signature. And how is each of us taking responsibility for the changes that are needed now? What are we doing about it? And it's interesting because I feel like the higher octaves of Aquarius don't focus on separation. A mosaic is composed of all the beautiful, different, diverse colors, experiences, cultures, belief systems. Like, how do we bring a new wholeness that rises above the separation, that rises above the mundane or all the things that we have thought could separate us? I feel like there's something blasting through here that we're meant to get on board with. And as I say this, I am certainly feeling the energies of star families, star seeds, other cosmic allies. These are energies that want us to prosper and make sure that we are in our best and highest energy fields here. And I'm feeling like we're going to see more things come forward that we weren't aware of. And when you think about how Saturn is authorities, leaders, those in various roles who have responsibilities of management, direction, leadership, there's going to be some big leadership changes. There's going to be some big things that are going to continue to collapse, fall apart. They're no longer in energetic alignment with what humanity truly needs or what is the best and highest good for humanity's growth. And this energy is meant to disrupt what is old, what is outdated. And I think that there's going to be not only collapses, but it's like there could be people who fall from positions of leadership, who are no longer seen in a particular light, who maybe are revealed. I mean, this is a very revealing energy signature. Again, surprises, things happening that are not expected. Now, this Mars is at 25 degrees of Taurus, already had an exact square here to Saturn and already had a square to the sun. So before this full moon, this was a frustrated Mars. And this was a Mars who was also a very big player in the conjunction with the North Node in Uranus. So I feel like there's something here about anger management, being aware of your responses, your reactions, where you give energy outside of yourself, how you move energy. Mars also being the body, especially in an earth sign, the physical energies that we're feeling of our body consciousness, what we're doing about it. And Mars is slowly marching forward in Taurus and then will enter Gemini on August 20th and will stay in Gemini until March 2023. So this is a slow and steady Mars now, but I feel like this Mars is in recovery. Either from whatever really zapped and zinged him with that conjunction to the North Node and Uranus, but also the squares that he's had with Saturn and the Sun. So you could feel physically worn out from everything going on. Be sure and prioritize your self-care, your body, your physical needs, your health. This Mars is making a sextile to Neptune at 24 Pisces retrograde. And so that is typically needing downtime, needing to slow down and just give yourself the time and space you need to integrate and process. I also am feeling here like, the Mars is making that trine to Pluto, and Pluto is retrograde at 26 Capricorn. This is as far back as Pluto is going to go in Capricorn. It will never go back further than 26 of Capricorn, where you will station direct. And so this Pluto is trining Mars, which brings in a power, determination, a force. Mars is learning a lot. Mars has been through it, through the ringer, through something intense, and yet Pluto brings in a truth. I feel like Mars has been zapped with some very big truths that can't be denied or hidden. And now this Mars is in a place of, what do I do? Because Mars is about action and movement and what you do with energy. So there's something here where this Mars is being deeply transformed. And you can relate that to your body, your sense of ambitions, movement, how you feel in your own skin. This can certainly be about what you want to go for next. Mars also being about masculine energy and men, and what is showing up, or how masculine energies are being deeply transformed here during August. There's just a lot happening at multiple levels of our energy, and it can feel overwhelming. And this Mars in Taurus wants grounding, especially after the conjunction with Uranus and then the connections to Saturn and the Sun. And so I feel like this Mars is going to tap into something very powerful right after this full moon. It's like a powerful truth that this Mars now understands. Now, in other parts of the chart, we have Venus right here at 0 degrees of Leo, where she is confident and ready to go, ready to be seen, ready to do something that truly supports her sense of self. Venus in Leo can be very bold and flamboyant and look at me and comfortable being noticed, being seen. So this could be an energy that taps you into your sense of self and what you need to feel good about who you are. We have Mercury strong in Virgo, looking for solutions, how to solve problems, make improvements. This is an analytical Mercury that focuses on the details and particulars and can help you kind of organize what's in front of you. If all of this feels like a mess, it's like this Mercury is going to be like, all right, now let's focus on some things. And then you can see how Mercury in Virgo at 12 degrees is moving direct and is going to make lovely trines here to the North Node and Uranus, and that's going to help with what to do next and what is important to focus on, to develop, and how you can make the most of everything that is happening at this time. Now, one more thing is that we talked about this moon at 19 degrees, and that's when the full moon is exact. But then the moon is going to move forward and be exactly conjunct Saturn, which will add in an emotional heaviness that could feel like there's a lot happening in your mind around decisions, next steps, and really feeling it. So right after this full moon is exact, there's going to be more energies that we're sitting in and sitting with that could feel quite serious and heavy. And then the moon will move on after that conjunction with Saturn and probably have some new revelations, some new answers, some new things to really understand are possible. So there's possibilities emerging, but it is not through a smooth, easy process. Rather, it's disruptive, surprising, could throw you off, and it will also depend on how well you deal with surprises or things changing or shaking up on the spur of the moment. So know that it's important to take care of your energy, your body, your mind, and we are made to ride these waves. You know, you have what you need to move through these bigger energy cycles. So believe in yourself, trust in yourself, trust that you can ride through this very dynamic period. And I think that when the sun enters Virgo, and we have the Virgo new moon at the end of the month, there could be some things that are just so much clearer to you. And it just all makes sense. Because there's a lot of chaos here, but that's how new universes are born. That's how things come about and develop. So this is strong creation energy, and it's also coupled with collapse and chaos and endings. So ground yourself, center in, connect to your solar plexus, connect to that place in yourself that really stands strong and can handle these waves. And I think that will help as we ride out these very big energies that we're moving through here in August 2022. And we talk about more of this in my weekly podcast every Monday and Wednesday. So please tune in as we'll discuss more of these energies. And as we've been discussing them really for a while now, since this Uranus conjunct North Node has been such a big deal here in 2022. So thank you for sharing this video with others who may enjoy it or benefit from it. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate your likes and your comments. And I also appreciate that we're in this together, because it is the beauty of all of us that makes up the humanity's mosaic. And that's what we're here to shine uniquely in our own way. And I feel like something beautiful is going to come from these very big changes. And if you can ground yourself in that belief, it can help you navigate this very wild ride. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll be back here soon. And of course, I look forward to talking to you about the upcoming Virgo new moon as well. I'll see you soon.